Hello everyone! So about a month ago, I played Five Nights at Freddy's and gave my thoughts on the game. Now it's a month later, it's October, so I thought I'd go through the second game. I recommend you see the other video before this one. Let's go over the basics of what this game is. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is the second installment in the Five Nights at Freddy's series, because, you know, that's how numbers work. Five Nights at Freddy's, which I'll just refer to as FNaF from now on, is a survival horror game where you play as a night guard trying to survive from killer robots. This game is different from the first. There are more robots, no doors, and it's way more difficult. There isn't really much to say in this first part, so let's just go right into the development. Shortly after the first game was released, Scott Cawthon, the creator of the Five Nights at Freddy's series, confirmed rumors saying, yeah, there will be a sequel to FNaF. About a month later, he posted a teaser image of the game. In October, a trailer of the game was released on Scott's YouTube channel. That's really all there is to this. The game was released just a month later. The game released for PC on November 11th, 2014, with an Android release on the 15th, an iOS release on the 20th, and if you didn't have a PC or phone, the game released on all current consoles on November 29th, 2019. I know, 5 years later, but still, they released. The original release date was actually supposed to be somewhere in 2015. The date was pushed forward to December 25th, 2014, but ended up releasing on November 11th. People praised the game for its animatronics, new gameplay features, and horror, but also criticized its difficulty, saying it was incredibly difficult. Well, do those reviews hold up? Let's find out. Upon booting up the game for the first time, you are introduced to a weird thing. It's not a cutscene as you control it, but it's not part of the main gameplay either. It contains you in a Freddy suit in the location of the first game. You can tell by the design of Bonnie and Chica, as well as the tables in front of the stage. After a bit of looking around, the thing ends. This is pretty strange and I don't know what this is supposed to mean, but cool, I guess. The game then brings you to the title screen. This is basically the same as the first game's title screen, but this time we got a new Freddy, or Toy Freddy as he's called, along with Toy Bonnie and Toy Chica. Starting a new game shows a newspaper again, basically saying you should go get yourself killed by bunnies and chickens for $100. Now it is time for night 1. Upon getting into the game, you get put in the office with the phone ringing. When you pick up the phone, you find the phone guy from the last game is alive, which is strange. Didn't he die in the last game? He says that he wants you to forget everything about the old location, and that Fazbear Entertainment spent a lot of money on the new robots to keep the place safe. The robots got stuff like facial recognition, advanced mobility, and are linked to a criminal database. Freddy's is pretty dangerous, but it seems like they actually tried this time around. The phone guy states that the last guard complained about the robots trying to kill him. If Fazbear Entertainment had the brain as to what to do, they would shut down the restaurant temporarily to get the robots fixed on this very dangerous bug. Instead, they decided to just switch the guard to day shift and give you the night guard position. 300 IQ move right there. He then goes over the basic mechanics of the game, which I'll talk about in just a second. Then he hangs up. Well, a second has passed, so let's talk about gameplay. As you can probably tell, there are no doors, so how do you survive? Well, there are vents to the left and right. You have to check them in case the animatronics get in there and is trying to sneak into your office. If an animatronic gets to your office through the vents, you could just put on your mask and they will go away. There's also a big hallway in front of you. Animatronics will try to get in from there. If they do, use your flashlight or the mask and eventually they'll go away. The mask is one of the most important things for your survival. Wearing it convinces the animatronics that you are one of them and they will leave you alone. Wearing it, however, makes it so that you can't use your cameras or flashlight. Also, not every animatronic is affected by the mask. 2 in particular will still attack even if you have the mask on, being the Puppet and Wizard Foxy. There's also the flashlight. You will use this to see down the hall and vents to look out for animatronics. Some animatronics get scared by the flashlight and will leave you alone if you use it on them enough. The cameras from the first game return too, this time with more rooms. You can also use your flashlight in the cameras. To my knowledge, using the flashlight in the cameras doesn't affect the animatronic, but it does help you get a look at what's happening in the room. The cameras are completely unnecessary to beat the game, except for one, the prize counter. The prize counter has a music box, which goes down during the night. It could go pretty fast, and if it runs out, you will get attacked by a new animatronic, the Puppet. Keeping this wound up is one of the most important aspects of the game and is needed to beat it. Now that I've gone over the gameplay, let's talk about the animatronics. There are a total of 11 animatronics, so I'll only go over the ones that appear on night 1 and go over the rest as they show up through the game. First up is Toy Bonnie. Toy Bonnie goes through the party rooms before going into the right vent. Upon reaching your office, he'll just sit there and wait. Put on your mask and wait for him to go in front of your face, then he'll go away. There's also Toy Chica. She's very similar to Bonnie in how she works. She goes from party room to party room as well, however she'll go into the left vent and can also come in through the hallway. There's also Toy Freddy. He only comes in from the hallway, but if he gets into your office, he'll stand in front of you. Put on the mask quickly to not die. Now it is time for night 2. The phone rings again, and it's the phone guy. He tells you about the old model animatronics in the back room. He says the company planned on repurposing them, but they decided to make new robots and just use them for parts. He explains that if they were to try and kill you, just put on the mask and they will go away. He does say that it doesn't work on Foxy, but the flashlight works on him. The final thing he states is that you shouldn't forget the music box. The puppet isn't fooled by the Freddy ads, so make sure you wind the music box. There are also some new animatronics you need to worry about. First is Mangle. Mangle is this weird deformity of an animatronic that is pretty fast. It goes from room to room, following a similar path as Toy Bonnie. If it gets into your office, it will hang out on the ceiling for a bit before attacking. There is also Foxy on this night. He appears in the hallway. Use your light at him a few times and he will go away. The final new animatronic is him. Balloon Boy, one of the worst and most annoying animatronics in this series. He goes through the left vent. If he gets into your office, he will disable your flashlight, meaning Foxy will kill you. What makes him so annoying is that he just stares at you with a stupid laugh. I really hate him. That's all really for night 2. Now night 3. Before night 3 starts, you get another thing with you on the stage. You just look around some more, but this time, Bonnie and Chica are both looking directly at you. Once it ends, some text saying, "It's me" appears in the top left corner. It's night 3 now. I wonder why this guy just keeps coming back over and over facing death for a very bad pay. Phone Guy talks about how New Mangle was originally a Toy Foxy animatronic, but the kids kept taking it apart, so employees gave up on fixing it and just made it a take it apart and put it back together attraction. Also, how strong are these kids to break animatronics? That must take a lot of strength. Phone Guy also just eases your mind about rumors saying the murderous pizzeria may be dangerous. He just says, "It isn't, shut up," then hangs up. New to this night is the rest of the old animatronics. They're easy to deal with, just put on your mask when they get in your office. After night 3, you are yet again on the stage. Bonnie and Chica are staring directly into you without eyes. At the end, Golden Freddy appears in front of you, then it ends. Night 4 comes along and the phone guy says that the restaurant may get closed for a few days due to police investigation. He also lets you know that someone may have messed with the facial recognition. Now the robots are aggressive to adults. The night can be a bit of a challenge, but there aren't any new mechanics. After night 4, you get the final one of these sequences. This time, the puppet is right in front of you and follows where you look. Night 5 is the last of the main nights, and the phone guy just says that the building is on complete lockdown. Well, why am I allowed in then? The company plans on moving your character to the day shift as well, which is nice of them. I don't feel like dying anymore. He also talks about a restaurant called Fredbear's Family Diner, and how it's been closed for years. The main gameplay of Night 5 is pretty brutal. No new things, but it is really a challenge. Once you manage to clear that, you get a paycheck addressed to Jeremy Fitzgerald, the night guard you played as. Once this closes, you get brought back to the title screen and oh god, there's more. Now it's night 6. You get the last phone call and phone guy asks what are you doing at Freddy's as the building's on lockdown. Well, if it's on lockdown, then how the hell did I get in? He says that they have a spare golden suit in the back room, but someone used it, and now the robots are acting strange. This heavily ties into the lore, but I'm not even gonna touch that unless I have to for these reviews. He says that they have one more event scheduled, which is a birthday party. Why the hell is a party being done in a place on lockdown for police investigation? He finishes off by saying that you'll be on day shift and he will take the night shift in your place once the place opens up again. Night 6 now has a new animatronic, Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy can appear randomly in the hall as a floating head or in your office. If he's in the hall, don't flash him. If he's in the office, put on your Freddy mask. Night 6 is extremely difficult. It could take quite a while. If you beat it, you get a paycheck for overtime and a newspaper saying the place is closing. That's it, right? I can finally finish this. Oh god damn it. The custom night returns in this game. You can still customize the difficulty of the animatronics, but this time there are also pre-made challenges for you to do. I think this is actually pretty neat. I'm not going to go over each individually, but once you beat one of them, you get a pink slip for Fritz Smith? Who the hell is this guy? He's fired for tampering with the robots and the game is over. I beat all of these challenges except for one, Golden Freddy. All animatronics at max difficulty. I put in a good few hours of attempts before deciding I didn't want to complete it. too RNG dependent and I don't want to do that. For each challenge you complete, you get something new on your desk. Cool, I guess? That's all for the game. Let me go over the last things and I'll give my final thoughts. So, the final things. This game is hard. There are a lot of animatronics coming at you from different angles, so trying to manage them all while not dying can be a pain, especially on later nights. Sometimes if you die, you get put in a minigame. There are 4 different retro-style games you could get. The first is Foxy running to greet kids. The first 2 times, everything is fine. The final time, however, has a purple guy sitting in the corner. Going into the next room brings you to some dead kids. Well, that's not good. Then Foxy jump scares you. Another has you bring cake to children as Freddy. There's also this kid that you can't reach. Soon a purple car comes by and the purple guy kills the kid before a puppet jump scare. Another has you play as Freddy following the puppet somewhere. You go around the building filled with dead kids until the minigame ends. On very rare occasions, the purple guy can appear, catch you, then purple static appears with the text, "You can't," appearing in the corner before the game closes. The final minigame has you play as a puppet giving gifts to dead kids. What is with these minigames and all the dead kids? After that, you give life to them. This involves putting on heads of the 4 main animatronics before getting jump scared by Golden Freddy. The frame before the scare, however, you could see a 5th child. During these minigames, you could hear a voice spelling out things like save them or save him. These are a bit strange and again are made for serious, so I will not get into them. So now, what do I think of the game? I'd say this is definitely an improvement. It's not a perfect game, but I will say during my playthrough, I did not get bored. Yeah, I got anxious and scared, but it was still a really enjoyable experience. It is difficult, so don't expect to beat it so easily. I would recommend you guys play this if you don't mind difficult games or getting scared. It's fun, scary, and just a fun experience. It always feels like the game is throwing something new for you to do, even if it's the same basic thing over and over. Well, that wraps everything up. Thanks for watching.